Welcome back to Aluxxia International Market. We are going to be making kimchi this time, featuring a lot of the things that we are going to be carrying in our store and what we currently carry as well. This is one of the things that we do carry, as well as the pungent garlic. We do not have a fish sauce yet, so we outsource that. The sweet rice flour we also do carry. We have Napa cabbage. We've already rinsed and prepped it with salt. So what we need to do right after this is just rinse it again, get the salt out and all that, so you don't want too much salt into it. You want to like a brine a little bit. This is chopped apple and pear. The preferred method is to use an Asian pear. You can use other pears. Again, we're not professionals, we're just doing this as an everyday person. This is MSG that we do carry in our store. It is optional. You do not have to carry it. Daikon radish is also preferred, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. This is regular radish peeled, and we'll be blending that in with everything. This is green onion and a hunk of ginger. Now, it doesn't always call for it, but this is simple syrup. Sometimes it calls for corn syrup. You don't have to do that. It's just a sort of sugary substitute. And this is carrots. So let's get started. Okay, so first what we're going to do is get some of our ingredients blended together. I'm going to use half of the carrots for blending the paste, and we're going to be using all of the apple and pear, as well as the ginger and radish. The only other things that we're going to be putting in the blend is garlic and fish sauce, as well as the MSG. So let's get that started. The other half of this is going to be going in with the cabbage, as well as some of the green onions going to be going into the cabbage as well. And add a little bit of MSG and the fish sauce. Now the fish sauce and the MSG, it just depends on how much you want it to be in each of them. I like the umami flavor in mine, and the fish sauce, it just, if you want it more salty or more fishy, that's up to you. This is actually substituted for salted shrimp. It's a common substitute for that. You can also use vegan fish sauce to substitute for this and make it completely vegan. So there's that as well. And again, you don't have to use MSG. That's just my personal preference. And we'll get to start in the blending. You want to get this down to almost a smoothie consistency. You don't really want large chunks of things. It's going to be the paste that ferments everything with it.
Yeah, I was thinking.
And also make sure you're not leaking everywhere. That's going to be it for this part. The next part, we're going to be going and making a slurry with the rice flour. This is just 2 cups of water, around about, I eyeballed it a little bit. For now, I'm going to whisk this in, the rice flour. It's a sweet rice flour that we carry in our store. It's Coda Farms. And we're going to let it come to a short, quick boil. And once it starts thickening up into a consistency like this, that's when you want to take it off the heat, let it cool down a little bit, and mix it with this. And I'm going to be using this bowl to mix it in. Alright, now before this gets to a rolling boil, you want to whisk in the rice flour, and otherwise you can sometimes get like lumps and stuff. Like if you've ever made a slurry with cornstarch, that's sort of what you can happen. You want to turn that off. Once it's thickened up a bit, you want to let it cool so you don't burn your hands. And this is definitely something I recommend gloves with, otherwise you're just going to have a mess trying to get the water turned on. It's a very hands-on kind of process. This is the gochugaru. It's the chili powder that's was in the black and white bag. This one right here. This is one of the things that we carry in our store that's really hard to get. Otherwise, you have to order offline and sometimes wait a while to get it. Or go to your nearest major town. We are a small town-based business, and we plan to keep it that way. We want to make sure we can bring something like this to more small towns as well. This is the fruits and vegetables and all the other stuff that we started with. You get as much of that as you can out of there. But, here we go. What we're going to go ahead and do, put that in there. Try to get all of it. This can make a lot of kimchi, or as little. You can always reserve this, and I would freeze it. You can always melt it out later on, but it's going to be like a paste that takes the pepper powders and the fruits and everything, and starts the fermentation process with the Napa cabbage. In my opinion, we don't have enough cabbage for this batch to use all of this, so I'm going to reserve some of it. It's over here so you guys can see what it looks like. It goes from that white consistency with the gochugaru and makes this like a thick paste, and that's what you want. Now the only other thing you need to do is let this cool down to where you can handle it with your hands, because you're going to be using your hands a lot after this. Okay, so we magically have it cooled down. And so we're going to take some of the green onions, and I'm not going to use all of these. It's just more like a two-taste thing. I like a little bit of green onions, but we're also going to be using these in other videos. So, and just warning, make sure you get this cold to your touch. My touch is, I mean, I can handle hotter things, so that's up to you. And this is where it becomes handsy. Get a big handful of that, and you're going to want to massage it into the kimchi. Well, the Napa cabbage and carrots and onions that you're turning into kimchi. I'm making a small batch because, like I said, I plan on reserving a bunch of this. We're going to be making watermelon kimchi, as well as a few other different varieties. And yes, watermelon kimchi is a thing. Alright. So, that little bit makes a lot of stuff that you can use, and it goes a long way. Alright, this is a kimchi box, or a pickling box. You can make pickles, you can make lots of things in these. We do plan on carrying these in our store, because it's not just Korean cuisine specified. Though they did come up with a design, and it is awesome. I highly recommend getting one.
Do sauerkraut and stuff like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what this box does is you put all this in here. You want to make sure it's clean beforehand, of course. Put all this in here, get it all empty, and then there is a second piece that goes inside. It's kind of like a squeegee a little bit. It'll clean down the sides when you put it in there, and it's got like a little burper on top. Now you want to go through like every day and burp this. It's going to be a fermentation process. There's going to be gases. Once you get this on, you also want to take like a paper towel. Yeah, hear that? That's the burper. Take like a paper towel and clean it up, because it's going to sit in this for, it can be eaten now, or it can be eaten 3 weeks from now. There is going to be a fermentation process. It depends on how fermented you want the kimchi and how sour you want it. Thanks for watching Aluxxia International Market.